Oh no. Yeah.
We You did that just as I went live.
Oh, hi everyone.
Sorry, I did that without warning because I am a terrible human being.
Did not tell me. I was
No,
like, let
no.
me get my yawns and my weird faces out of my system before we go live. And it's like, actually, we're live.
So sorry. I am so
Hi
very
everyone.
sorry.
Not the most embarrassing thing I've done on live TV. But
So, do you know if trailers count as fair use? I think trailers count as fair use.
I have no idea. I would err on the side of no because Twitch's automated flagging
Oh,
system
that's true.
and YouTube's automated flagging system are just terrible. Because remember when we got
Yeah,
like
yeah, that's true. We were using uh fair use audio,
yeah,
but
it was like under like a free
yeah,
license
but
and
somebody
but
else
someone
used it.
else had used it on copyrighted work, so we got flagged.
Yeah,
And it was ridiculous.
it's
And
true. It's
yeah,
true.
so Pamela popped a link to the trailer so you can see some of the goofy space stuff from last night's 911. Because I'm just like, maybe we shouldn't run it. Because the bots.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
All right, so let's do a clean opener to this.
okay,
Now that
so
I
for
have,
editing.
yeah, produced chaos. Let's. All right. Wow, I've created chaos on my screen. Okay, I've fixed the chaos on my screen. Hello, everyone, and welcome to hour two of After Hours. This is something new and completely random that cropped up because Ali absolutely loves the TV show 911, and I saw a trailer with science so bad it wasn't even wrong. So
Pamela was like, WTF?
I was, and then I
I
suggested we need to stream this.
Mhm. I immediately, like, from the opening of the episode, when I'm like, there's more than two astronauts on the ISS. Also, like, the ISS looks so clean and, like,
Yeah,
pristine
yeah,
in 911. I'm like, that's not what it actually looks like.
it's
Like,
true.
the International Space Station is old, and it's kind of worn out. And
Kind of smelly.
yeah, the astronauts said it always smells like wet socks, I think was the description used. And then also they show the guy getting like hit by space debris and just getting like thumped up against the bulkhead. But to be fair, the show is in the 8 p.m. time slot on Disney's ABC. So they couldn't exactly show what actually happens to someone if they get hit by space debris.
Well, and okay, so many things, so many things. So in the trailer and in the
Mhm.
foreshadowing at the beginning of the episode, because this is one of those episodes that like starts with all these terrible things happening and then cuts to a screen that says 2 weeks earlier.
Yeah, that's just how they do in 911. Like that's the formula.
And and they have one astronaut who's on the ISS looking out at the astronaut who's doing the spacewalk, and she sees debris coming and it's moving no faster than I'd say 30 miles per hour. And the problem with orbital mechanics is differences in orbits tend to cause differences in velocity that are measured not in miles per hour, but in miles per second.
Mhm.
And so that thing that is going to nail you, you're probably not going to have time to register it's coming as it just like murders you hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
it would, I mean, if you want some more accurate portrayals, watch The Expanse.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like it can get a little gross. But again, that was just kind of one of those things like I will forgive this inaccuracy because y'all are working with primetime TV and you can't you couldn't get that realistic
Yeah.
on primetime TV on ABC.
Yeah.
Um, so I understand. God, what was something that was driving me nuts? It was honestly the trailer for next week's episode because they're showing them like launching into space and no one's wearing helmets. They're not wearing pressure
Right.
suits. They're just
Now,
kind of hanging out in their jumpsuits. And I mean, like, I'm not complaining about getting to like look at Angela Bassett in like a spacesuit. Like, that's nice. But
now for New Shepherd, they're just in jumpsuits though, aren't they?
yeah, I think so. But like, New Shepard just goes up and like boops the Carmen line and comes back down, right?
Right.
For this one, they said that they were going to orbit around the Earth
Twice.
twice in low Earth orbit.
Yeah.
And it's really like, I
Less
don't know, it's
booping.
funny, like they'll get some of the terminology right, and then, but that's like 911. I've watched every season, and it's basically if they're given the choice between accuracy and really dramatic, kind of goofy storytelling, they'll choose the latter, like
Okay.
every time. Um,
So
uh,
so I'm going to try and bring order to the chaos.
okay.
So it starts out, and I'm completely new to the show, which makes the two of us doing this together perfect.
Mhm.
So it starts out with this uh on orbit looking at the International Space Station, which apparently just has a guy and a girl whose hair is perfectly coiffed and not falling apart. Like every time you see an actual female astronaut, her hair is like everywhere because zero gravity. This woman instead has everything pulled back into a nice, neat bun that's shaped and not something that you can easily do solo.
TV.
Yeah. So I understand it was cheaper for them to do that than to figure out how to do zero G hair. Just needed to rant on the hair treatment. Um, they have this oncoming cloud of debris that they're able to see because it's moving at a very similar orbital velocity. And then they cut away to rich dude who owns an aerospace company who has ticked off his board of directors as owners of aerospace companies are wanting to do. He has decided he is not going to take this video call from anywhere other than his kayak because they had the audacity to schedule it when he was supposed to be out getting his exercise. And because he is someone who has satellite connectivity, he's just going to take the call from his kayak. And while he's in the kayak conversing with the board, a humpback whale breaches mouth open, takes in the kayaker and the kayak, and manages to only spit out the kayak. Go.
The best part is when he's like he's still on his Zoom call from like inside the whale
And their response
asking for
is
help.
satellites.
Yeah. Yeah, just satellites. But like one thing that they do get right in that scene is the whale science.
Right. So tell
Because
the story of what happened while you were watching this because I
okay,
love
so
this.
my wife and I were watching it, and because like I love whales. They're one of my little like neurospicy special interests. Which apparently I have like a bazillion of those. But so when this happens, I immediately like start babbling about humpback whales, and I'm just like, oh well, the good news is like they have really, really tiny, narrow throats, so like the whale physically can't swallow him. He'll just be stuck in the whale's mouth. It could possibly crush him with its
Yeah.
baleen, but it's not going to swallow him. And then literally like less than a minute later, one of the characters says this, and I'm just like, okay, cool.
And and for reasons I don't understand, he was running out of oxygen inside the mouth of the whale.
Because the whale had gone
Under.
under, but the
Hadn't
water
opened
wasn't in
its
the
mouth.
mouth. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was just for like drama.
So then they decide they're going now, first of all, I have to say, at this point, I was like, can that really happen? Is that a thing? Going to Google. And it turns out
Yeah,
that there
yeah.
was an Argentinian kayaker who got completely consumed. And of course, someone got this on video. And then the whale almost immediately spit out both the kayak and the
Mhm.
kayaker. So there
'Cause,
is an actual moment. Yeah.
sorry, it's like because a whale's gonna be just like, ew, bleh.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's not my food.
No, not krill. Why
Especially like
not
the
krill?
humpback's like, that's too big.
Yeah. 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 So Hal McKinney is asking, what is the scope of this show? I do like the cast. I want to make sure any questions, comments I may have are in scope and not overly random. So we're going to try and keep the scope to this episode of 911.
Yeah,
So folks
yeah.
watching live, you are welcome to ask questions about episode 1 and the trailer to season 9 of 911.
And I will provide historical context as needed if you want to know more about like the entire show. I post about it a lot on Blue Sky. So
So we have the whale, and then we have physics used to the max. You hear one of the characters say, "We need a traffic cone," and and
I
they
want to know from you if this would actually work.
it would. That's the thing
It
that
would.
gets me.
Okay,
So
cool.
so sound is just a form of energy, and it's compression waves that move through the air, and and what they decide to do is hook up their fire truck with a traffic cone uh, attached to the fire hose, and then they drop the not the traffic cone, they drop the fire hose into the bay and start shooting fresh water from the truck through the traffic cone plus hose duct tape combination, and then they turn on their sirens. Now, I really don't know if the traffic cone was needed. I think they are implying that the traffic cone is magnifying sound waves moving through the truck.
Yeah, I think they're thinking about like using it like a megaphone, which I don't
Yeah,
think would actually like
no.
matter underwater because
So,
the way water diffuses sound.
well, and the other issue is it isn't coupling the sound to the fire hose effectively. Now, what does work is you have this stupidly loud siren with the compression waves hitting the hose and hitting the surface of the water. And because the compression waves are getting transmitted into the hose along the length of the hose,
Mhm.
um, there is going to be all sorts of weird compression waves added in to the hose. So you're going to have noise entering the water. I don't think it's going to be coherent. I don't think what they're saying is going to happen, but they are going to be able to transmit sound similar to how a fiber optic or a flowing thing of water can transmit light. Um, but the efficiency they think they're going to get from that traffic cone is not there. No.
So it's kind of a like as far as scientific accuracy goes, it's like it's kind of a he's confused, but he's got the spirit kind
Yeah,
of
the
moment.
spirit of it is okay. Now, the next part is all very silly. Do you want to sum it up?
Which next part?
The they don't have the Coast Guard coming, so they're going to jump into the water.
Oh yeah, yeah. That like so the Coast Guard's not coming to help, right? So one of the firefighters just like dives off this bridge into the water,
Fully dressed.
fully dressed. Yeah, not in like turnouts, but still fully dressed. And yeah, and it's like a background on that character is was like an army medic before he was a firefighter, and like and the writers are kind of obsessed with that character, so they were wanting to give him like a big hero moment, and that's what that was about.
And the thing that gets me here is the whale has now surfaced, spit out an unconscious rich dude,
Mhm.
is like at least a couple 100 meters away from the bridge that they're jumping off of. This is a whale that really wants to be in deep water. I'm a bit suspicious at how close to the harbor this whale has gone
Mhm.
while apparently trying to eat krill, because I would expect no krill to be available in the harbor where you have lots of boat activities, but we're suspension of
Yeah, yeah,
disbelief.
don't, yeah.
So now we have dude in normal clothes swimming several 100 meters, getting to the unconscious, was wearing a life jacket, diver, not diver, kayaker, swimming that person all the way back to shore and doing this faster than the lifeguard boat that was like 20 minutes out. And the person doesn't die.
They have to like do CPR, but
They
like, yeah,
do.
he doesn't die.
But like the passage of time was timey-wimey and
Yeah,
wibbly-wobbly.
yeah. 911 works best if you don't ask too many
Uh-huh.
questions. It's a very silly show. And I don't know if it's a good show, but I enjoy it.
I did enjoy it. I just have to point out
Oh, yeah.
all the places that they I'm pointing this out with joy and laughter because they had MacGuffin after MacGuffin to make this
Oh,
plot
yeah.
work.
Yeah. It um it is a show like fueled by MacGuffins.
It's true. And they do
And
manage to safely get the dude awake. He looks straight into the eyes of the woman who did the CPR and decides she's going into outer space, but doesn't tell her immediately.
yeah.
So
So that's how they're bringing in like the space component is like he wants to like thank her for saving his life. Hen, who's one of my favorite characters. And so he wants to thank her by giving her a spot on his like rocket capsule, which it's New Shepard. It's
yeah,
Blue Origin New Shepard, like just given a different name. And also they decided to make it actually like orbit the Earth in low Earth orbit to, I guess, to like up the potential for suspense and drama. But like New Shepard doesn't actually orbit.
no,
It just goes up and it like kind of says hello to the Karman line and then comes back down.
but that wouldn't allow them to have as much diversity of plot.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
So I'm like, okay. And again, this is a show that like really loves the disaster genre. So I feel like this is just a logical place for them to go is like, let's do disaster in space.
and I have to say, the actress they have playing the woman who goes to space looks so much like Cynthia. I'm going to mispronounce her name, Cynthia Erivo,
Mhm.
the spectacular musical theater actress who's also in Wicked. That I spent the whole time just slightly confused. I just need to point this out.
Yeah.
There are
The actress's
doppelgangers at
name is
play.
her name's Aisha Hines and she is lovely.
Yes, yes. Um, so there's a lot of other plot things going on that don't feed into the science. The next scene, we find out that someone has recently died. We find out that the Angela Bassett character is struggling and not staying in contact with her children.
Because
What do we need to know to understand the season?
okay, so last season, they killed off one of like the main characters. They killed
Uh,
off the fire station captain who is married to Angela Bassett's character. And it was like a whole thing. They
oh,
did a whole like outbreak thing, and the team's stuck in a level 4 biolab, and like something happens with his hazmat suit, and he ends up
oh,
getting
jeez.
this like it's basically like super Ebola, like
It's like Andromeda Strain,
yeah,
except
yeah, no, they
911.
were absolutely doing an homage to Andromeda Strain. Absolutely. And I loved it. And so there's been all this like, fallout and ongoing drama. after his death, which it was like it was a big thing because again, like major character, but it's also kind of hit a reset button on the show.
That is cool. And so we're finding out stuff about the Angela Bassett character. She's going through things. She's trying to restart her life. She had gone into undercover work. They are then pushing her back to normal work. Um and and the woman who thinks she's getting called to the principal's office. I don't know the names of any of these characters. I need you to jump in here. Help.
Okay, all
Help.
right. Angela Bassett's character is named Athena,
Okay.
um, which is amazing. And
Yes.
then Hen is the paramedic that gets to go to space because she saved the guy's life. So yeah, she basically like the fire chief calls her into his office and doesn't say anything. He's like, just I need to talk to you. And she thinks she's in trouble, but Mr. Billionaire dude is like, no, I want to send you to space as a thank you. And the chief's basically like, you're gonna do it because of PR.
And what's amazing is Rich Dude gives her a +1 ticket to space as
Mhm.
well. So it's
And so
her and one other.
and of course she immediately thinks about her wife Karen, who is like an actual rocket scientist, and this comes up occasionally on the show. I kind of had an ugly laugh when there was a whole plot point where like Karen's working at JPL and gets laid off and like mass layoffs due to government funding. And this was actually about a year before the actual mass layoffs at JPL. Yeah, and so, but I was watching it after the mass layoffs, and I'm just like, oh God, you
I
know.
know.
So currently in the show, she works for like some private research company doing rocket scientist stuff. They never really specify like what she does. They just say like she's a rocket scientist who has worked for JPL. And you're
And
like, okay.
and what
But
I
it's also like it's kind of cool to see like, this black woman who's gay and she's a rocket scientist. Like that's fun.
yeah, and it's a really fun show in terms of like it's people that truly are representative of society. And while most firehouses fail to reflect the surrounding community that they are in, this show presents us with that Star Trek future where you do have a representative population
Hmm.
working in the firehouse.
Yeah. And it's really great.
And the wife is of course her Hen's first, you're coming into space with me. And the wife is like, I would love to, but no. Because
I can't because the company I work for has an active lawsuit
yeah,
against him. I
and
wouldn't be allowed near it.
that is the most realistic thing.
Mhm. And there was a line that I think was in like the trailer, but may have gotten cut, where she was just like, "Excuse me," she just like immediately like launches into like a criticism of him being like a money grubbing asshole and all this stuff. And I'm just like, I was like, oh, it's like near verbatim what I usually say about Jeff Bezos.
So we don't know who Hen is going to pick as her number two since it's not her wife until we get to the preview for episode 2. And what's funny is all the guys in the firehouse are taking turns like outdoing themselves trying to get on her good graces. She's brought a latte, someone restocks her
Just like him and her three annoying brothers who are trying to get her approval.
yeah, and even the fire captain is like, "We were best friends. We're still best friends, aren't we?"
Yeah, that's Chimney. He's the new fire captain, but he was like actually her paramedic partner before that. And
Okay.
they've been like best friends for 20 years. Like that's their whole
Oh.
backstory. And there's also a running joke on the show that no one knows why he's called Chimney. And you'll just have like some characters say like, "Oh, I knew him before he was Chimney," or like, "I was there when he got his nickname." And it's just been a running joke for like nine, or like going on 9 seasons. And I hope that they just keep doing that because it's really funny.
That is excellent. That is the kind of thing where you can imagine in the very last episode, they still don't tell you, but they almost tell you.
They almost tell you and then cut. Yeah, that's what I would do, but I love a running gag. But yeah, they're all like vying for her attention because they're like, oh, I want to go to space. I want to go to space. And it's very silly. Um, to just, I don't, I'm just always very delighted by all the characters on the
Hmm.
show. They're all just very like interesting and lovable. And like we've had a whole thing for the past couple of seasons where like Buck, the like pretty curly-haired boy,
Yeah.
um like realized like he's bi and he like came out and he had a boyfriend and it's just been like a whole thing. So anyway, I digress. If you want to get us like back on topic.
So what we know as we go into the end of the episode, uh, is the Angela Bassett character, who shall forever in my brain be the Angela Bassett character, is going through things. She's trying to figure out how to reconnect with her children, reconnect with the firehouse. And then it jumps to preview of next episode, which shows her in a full-on EV outfit, EVA outfit, extravehicular activity
Yes.
spacesuit, arm out, reaching. You don't see what's going on around her, so clearly something terrible has occurred. Go ahead.
Oh my God, Mythtown.
Oh no, my chat had paused. I'm missing all of this
Mythtown,
Twitch.
are you like subtweeting me? Also, if you are, I didn't know you followed me on Blue Sky. Midtown says the amount of talking about Buck this person I follow on Blue Sky has done. It's like I think I know that person. Um, so
So Broken Symmetry makes the excellent point. So the guy who swam out and saved him, not even a trip to Denny's? No, not even a trip to Denny's. That guy wasn't there to apparently like pair bond the moment the rich dude opened his eyes. I mean, it was really like a baby bird imprinting on mom.
yeah, yeah,
Rich dude imprinted on a paramedic who gave him CPR, which was of course a woman. So we now know that Hen and Angela Bassett are going to outer space
yes.
on what
And
it's.
I am very excited for it, even though and we should do a follow-up when we watch that episode.
Yes.
Because like a lot of like the writing in the show is like kind of mid, but like Angela Bassett never ever phones it in.
No,
She
she's a
is
she's a furniture
always,
eater.
yeah, and I just can't wait to see her do that in space. Because last season, the season opener was the B NATO, and then she was on the plane that got um
Forced to land on the
the
highway.
yeah, and she was the one that had to land it because the pilot was incapacitated. I forget why. But yeah, so she has to land it, and there's like this big dramatic moment where like her husband, like who's the fire captain, like clears the I think the I-10
Oh, she.
for her to have a runway and stands at the end of it to like coach her through landing it. And it's just like I don't know, it's this big dramatic silly thing that's actually kind of lovely in a way, but they've been putting her character through it. So now she's going to space.
All right, all right, and
Because yeah, the season before the B NATO, she was on her honeymoon cruise, and it ended up becoming the Poseidon Adventure,
oh, she
which I don't know if any of y'all have seen the
was
Poseidon Adventure, but
traumatized by that as a
it
small child.
like it's where like a cruise ship like capsizes, and just it's all the stuff that happens from there. I don't know. So there's
Yeah.
like this big set piece with like an inverted cruise ship. But yeah, they basically like a lot of 911 is just disaster movie homage, which is one of the reasons I love it. So now, of course, they're like, well, what haven't we done? We haven't done space. It's like we've done a tsunami, we've done hurricanes, we've done tornadoes, we've done bees, airplanes. Like We got to take it to space, right?
And
Gotta go.
it feels really like each season could be a movie, but they've decided to drag it out into as many hours of scenery chewing goodness as they possibly can,
Yes.
which
Yep.
which does allow them to develop their characters and does allow
Mhm.
them to uh, blow shit up, for lack of a better phrase. Um, I'm here for it. I am here for it.
They also did an earthquake one where like a building like
So the thing I didn't catch, what city is this supposed to be in?
Los Angeles.
Okay.
It's supposed to be that makes it even funnier, right? And it's like I have no idea what their jurisdiction is because they're like going to put out fires and deal with disasters like all over the place. And now that I've actually been to LA,
I'm not
it
seeing a
that's really
humpback
weird.
whale getting into the Long Beach harbor, which
Right. Yeah, and also it's like it just yeah, it's kind of it's like don't ask questions, don't ask questions.
my brain is broken. All right, tell people
Uh,
how they can watch 911 and join us next week with more of an informed opportunity to
okay, you can watch it on Hulu. It's always streaming on Hulu. That's usually how I watch it. And my wife and I did buy um we did buy the little like box to like watch ABC on our TV to get it through our antenna so that
That's awesome.
so we can watch it live, but our signal hasn't been the greatest, so we will also be watching it on Hulu. Um, but yeah, that's Hulu or, whatever creative way you have of procuring television. Go forth.
So this is a new series we're doing. Um, it's part of our After Hours series. This is hour 2 of After Hours UTC edition. And all of you are invited to join us for the
Yes.
continuing chaos. Um, I'm not sure we have someone scheduled for next week yet. I'm checking the schedule. I am super excited about who we have coming on at the end of the month.
And who's that?
We're going to have Megan and Kim from the Chandler X-ray Observatory coming on
Oh,
to talk to us about all the wonderfully uh, chaotic images that have gotten used at various points in time to promote Halloween and NASA simultaneously. So, from the Witch's Nebula to
oh, well,
everything being described as looking like a pumpkin, we're going to talk
or
about,
spider.
yeah, we're going to talk about the image selections, how this came to be a tradition, and what all goes into making these amazing images. So that's going to be October 31st. I will be coming to stream in cosplay. We are still working out the next 2 episodes, so that may just be us hanging out with the
Yeah.
CosmoQuest community. And we're so glad all of you are here, and we are here thanks to the generous contributions of
Yes.
people like you on patreon.com/CosmoQuestX. We have early access to some new creator features over on Patreon. If you are
Yes.
using the Patreon app, there are quips and other ways to consume more content. So at least join us at the free tier on
Yeah.
Patreon.
And remember, it's only like $1 a month to get ad-free
Yeah.
podcasts and video. And if you are subscribed at $1 a month or higher, you will have a new episode of EVSN to watch tomorrow night.
So please consider joining the Patreon. And with that, do you have any parting words or 911 wisdom to instill in the audience?
I'm sorry I have inflicted this on you.
All right. We will see you next week. Go forth. Have an amazing weekend. And remember, look up.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.